So what is inside this little box? Let's find out. Is that clickbait enough? Did I do YouTube right? I think I did YouTube right. So let's talk about what's in this little box. It's a begleri, all right? This is my first order, my first experience with Jimpy Designs. Jimpy Designs, he does a lot of really rad, custom, beautiful begleri, and he's got these like thumb chuck things, which I've never played with. Being into begleri now, getting into it in the last couple of months, I've noticed his stuff, you know, even before I was really into the hobby. I believe I was following his account even before that. And so I've seen some of his designs over the years. And this one in particular, these are the USOs. And this is a design he's had for a while, and they oftentimes come fairly limited and get scooped up pretty quickly. And seem to be a really loved begleri set in the community that you don't really see resold very often. So he was releasing them a couple weeks ago, and I reached out to him. They were just kind of like, hey, if you want one of these, just private message me and we'll work something out. And I initially was thinking I kind of wanted something all titanium, right? And so I thought I'll just kind of wait for that. And then a few weeks later, he announced that this was basically going to be the last of the USOs ever manufactured by him. And so I just had to jump on it. Now, there weren't any full titanium sets on there. I may be able to pick up a set at some point in the future. I just like titanium in general. And I tend to be, my preference right now, at least with begleri, is that they tend to be on the lighter side. But sometimes things surprise me. And so I'm thinking this will surprise me just because of the size of it and all that. So I actually ordered what's in the box, all right? First off, it's the USOs, all right? If you're not familiar with those, we'll look at those in a minute. Comes with a couple extra cords. I like these colors, really nice. Has this kind of olive drab sort of design. And then this one's like a purple and red and green as well. It's hard to probably tell on the camera completely all the different shades, but nice 550 paracord. So these are designed for 550. They probably could take 275 or 425 as well. And it comes with a little bag, little leather bag here, nice and small. If you want to put them in there, throw them in a pocket, what have you. Yeah, so there you go. That's the boxing. Very little box. Nice, right? Fits nice and neat in there. So let's talk about it. So they're already strung up on one side. They're going to be a knot sort of end. This would be a really good candidate. I've done this with a couple of the smaller sets that I have right now. This would be a really good candidate for a Celtic button knot ending. So I might do that at some point. This cord right here, you're gonna need a little longer cord on that. These ones, the construction of these, the metal on these, the base, the ring outside here is tumbled copper, and then brass tumbled domes. And these come apart, which, let me see if I can get one off for you, just to kind of show you. They aren't completely attached, obviously, and they set in really a lot tighter than I expected. And these are tiny, aren't they? You see that? Good look at that. All right. A fairly tight bore there for the 550. It's gonna fit for sure. I don't think I can get these apart. Yeah. I could pry them apart, but they set in really nicely. So that's a round dome set into that base there. Copper's heavier than brass, and so I feel like these are going to have that sort of momentum of the weight being on the outside. That's why I went with this one. For this small run, he had ones flipped as well, where the dome was copper and the outside was brass. In my head, I was thinking this would be a better option as far as the kind of feel that I want on the begleri. He also had some stainless steel ones, which would have been a little bit lighter, but I just like the look of these. Okay, so he went ahead and pulled out the core from this and actually put it to a point. That seems like it's gonna be what you're gonna need to do to string these up with 550 paracord. So they're gonna be pretty tight. Like just looking at the one on this side, it is not moving very easy. So once you get that bead in place, it is locked in there. But with some work, it's not gonna be impossible. And let me put this back on here. You could flip these beads around too if you wanted the other end. You know, you could flip it around this way, so you have the flat end there. That could potentially be beneficial. So if you were ordering, like I said, the other option here, one of the other options was to have copper domes and brass rounds. So if you liked to flip the bead completely around, you could do that. All right, got them all slung up, slung up, slanged up. That's it. Anyways, got them all ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of stuff at them. Gonna throw some tricks at them and see how they play. All right, let's get it. Let's talk about the size of that bead. I like that size of the bead. I'm kind of liking a smaller bead, and a lot of the stuff that I've been getting from that I've been really enjoying from people like around Square are their mini beads and so on. I like that weight, oddly enough. I mean, it's at 13 grams roughly, and per bead, and I'm not really feeling that it's that heavy, and part of that is maybe due to the actual size of the bead. If it was a larger bead, you might feel like it's heavier. With that weight being on the ends a little bit more, you definitely can feel that momentum, especially with rolls and so on. Still trying to get my ladder down where it's no slips. I cannot seem to get it there yet, and maybe just because I need to work on my down ladder just more in general. But yeah, you can definitely feel that momentum. That was a bad wrap. But yeah, you see what I'm saying? That momentum pace with it being outside. I have a couple beads like that already, and I like that feel. You can definitely pick up some momentum really quickly. I've been following a lot of muscle bones tutorials, which I know a lot of you that play begleri already do. As new into this hobby still, I've probably been playing, it's been maybe 3 months now, something like that. I'm starting to get into a little bit more consistency, still dropping it a lot, but this kind of stuff I'm working on, trying to get consistent. Just trying to get the basics down. That's what I always tell people with yo-yo, is that it's so easy to just kind of rush into like wanting to play crazy advanced tricks or do something you know, that competitive players maybe do without really having a foundation of the basic tricks. And I'm trying to kind of stay disciplined with that. You can certainly tell that there's a lot of expert craftsmanship that went into these beads, you know, just from the pictures obviously, but now holding it in hand, you can tell that this guy knows what he's doing. That, you know, I'm not, again, this is my first exposure to anything Jimpy designs, and so I could see why these things sell out. He's got a couple other begleri beads as well and shapes out there that I have you know, checked out. He's got an Etsy store, by the way. That's how he sells things. So I'll have a link to all that in the description box. Something like a zoot is going to be really a good showcase of the type of momentum that you can build on this with this bead. I'm still working on things like bead rolls, like, see, I can't even do it with this one. It might be a smaller bead for that, but this is where something like a larger knot, again, that Celtic knot, might come in handy, so that I can get a little bit more grip. See, again, somebody more experienced is probably going to have no problem with that, but there we go. All right, so there you have it. That's my look at the USOs by Jimpy Designs. Again, a bead that has been out a while, so it's not like a fresh new review, but it's new to me, and so I'm very glad I was able to pick up the last run of these, the retirement run. All right, that's gonna do it for now. Until the next one, later. Whew, it's hot.